Thank you for checking out my Patreon page. I'd like to tell you a bit about my journey and how I arrived at this point. I began creating the Inner Worlds, Outer Worlds film series in 2009 in this little room in my basement. The Inner Worlds, Outer Worlds series was a surprising success. It reached over 30 million people in 30 different languages and won about a dozen awards internationally. My budget for the film was, well, I didn't really have a budget. All of these films are funded almost entirely out of my own pocket. Despite the film's incredible success, the Inner Worlds, Outer Worlds series generated very little revenue, probably because I gave it away for free. This was something that was very clear. The films had to be given freely, without any limitation, in order to preserve their purity. In 2013, I took the leap and quit my day job to dedicate myself full-time to the creation of the Samadhi film series. 4 years later, Samadhi Part 1 was released, along with a 4-part guided meditation series, which, by the way, if you haven't checked out, please check it out. To be honest, I wasn't at all sure how the Samadhi film would be received in the world, but it's already reached millions of people and is translated into 20 languages. Samadhi Part 2 was released in May of 2018. While there have been times where my little Dan ego has enjoyed the widespread reception of the films, a much larger part of my being, a much truer part, is profoundly humbled by my involvement in the awakening of human consciousness on the earth. I acknowledge that I'm in service. I'm in service to you, in service to the mystery, far beyond my limited mind's comprehension. These projects have truly been a labor of love, and I am blessed to have had the opportunity to share with you these matters that are deeply important to me as I travel my path. Let me give you a sense of how things work at Awaken the World Films. I do all the writing, producing, tech support, most of the animations, music composition. I do about 90% of the work myself. I'd like to introduce you to the entire production team. Tanya sits with me every day. Her higher self is like the executive producer and knows what stays in and what goes out. There have been numerous artists and musicians who have generously contributed their work. Because everything I create is made available for free, the films don't generate a profit. So this is where I thought Patreon could work beautifully. Having a bit more of a budget in my pocket would allow me to work more efficiently with equipment upgrades, give me access to better shots, as well as the freedom to contract a bit of outside help when needed. At this point, in May of 2018, there are at least 3 films waiting to be created. Having more financial support will definitely help in getting them out into the world. I'm completely devoted to honoring the vision I've set out from the start, to independently create and freely share films that assist in the awakening of humankind, to share teachings that in my own practice and experience can point us to the transcendent source. And if you feel a resonance with these projects, I would ask you to please consider becoming a patron of my initiative. A lovely element of this Patreon model is that a community is being created here of those who are interested in supporting future projects. I've decided that regardless of whether you donate $1 a month or $20 a month, all the rewards will be the same. And how much I appreciate your support is not contingent on the size of your donation. I'm really excited to start up some live Q&As, as well as share some music tracks, writings, and fractal artwork with you. Thank you sincerely for your support, and please remember that while the monetary contributions are very helpful, your commitment to your own practice is even more valuable.